Okay, I should be live now. Can you guys see and hear me? First question. Laut und klar, das ist doch gut. Okay. Aha, das ist doch gut. Okay, so we'll wait a few minutes more before I start, just in case that a few people will join later. Yes, hola Pablo, how's it going, man? I hope you guys doing well. Yeah. Cheers from Lisbon. Hey man. Hey David, how's it going? Okay, so a few more people are coming in now. Guten Abend, Pascal. Hallo. Okay, so one more question. Do you want the light to be turned on or off? I don't know. This is a bit more atmospheric, and you can change the colors in the background if you want. I don't know. Light on, light off. What do you prefer? I think that with the light turned off, it's a bit more cozy. And off? Okay. And one more question: is the music in the background okay? And is it too loud or too quiet? Yeah, I just searched for some no copyrighted music. I don't know, maybe there are some weird tracks maybe in the future, in upcoming minutes or so. These are like some background music vocals for, I don't know, advertising. I don't care. Omar, hello. Greetings. And Ali, hello. Okay, guys. I think we can start. First of all, I wanted to give you a bit more, like behind the scenes, from the first part of the La Palma behind the scenes of the big image. I hope that you've all seen that. And yeah, I've already opened my folder in Lightroom for all the images that I've captured for this panorama. Come on, Lightroom. So let's go in the grid view. So in total, I captured 606 images to get the panorama done. Yeah. Okay, let's... This music is really epic, what the fuck? Let's try this one. Okay. Okay, so just that you can get an idea of what a single exposure looked like. Yeah, that's straight into the core. I've shot at ISO 1600 and 30 second each, at f2 with my Samyang 135mm lens. And yeah, I think, well, it is captured on La Palma, so you have basically one of the best skies possible, at least for me. And yeah, in like 30 seconds, you can get a really good signal. And when we move on to... no, like on this roundish nebula, I think it's SH120 or so. This red nebula, you can already see the details in there, which is really crazy. And yeah, okay, another question really. Is the music too loud? Because on my ears it's really loud. I don't know why. I really hope that the music is not too loud for you. So, okay, back to Lightroom. Yeah, okay, so it's fine. Okay, perfect. Let me get back into my mood. So, yeah, I captured all these 600 images over a span of 3 nights because, as you've seen maybe in the first video, I tried to capture all the images in one night, but it is really hard, especially when you're trying to integrate for longer times. This really don't know if I'm happy with this music. What the fuck? Okay, that's a bit more. I know this music. Okay, so in the first night I've captured. Let me open one of the older panoramas. So old panoramas. I think this was probably one of the first versions that I had. Come on, pics in sight, please. Okay, so let's stretch it. Okay, so this was basically one of the first like final results that I got when I stitched all the images together. But in the first night, I only captured images. I don't know if I can. I think I can't really show it nicely, but just imagine that, like, in this upper right corner and on the upper left corner, there were like nothing. There was nothing. There was just a black empty space because I didn't capture enough images to show the field of view that I wanted to show. So I had to reshoot. Maybe I can show it to you in the metadata. Yeah, so these images I captured on the 6th July, and these images I captured on the 5th July, and a bit more to the end on the 9th. Yeah, so I had to capture these images over 3 nights, and yeah, in the first, let's go back to pics inside. In the first attempt to stitching this panorama, it worked quite well, but so maybe you can see here when I stretch it a bit more. Okay, no, that's a bit too hard. But I don't know if you can see it, but there are little problems in the panorama. Like, these stars here are really small, and these ones are quite big. I think that happened due to some unevenness, like an uneven focus plane on the image, because I've shot the images at f2. And my sensor on the A7S is maybe not 100% perfectly aligned in the body, so I ended up with basically some more unsharp images, depending on how I focused on the image corners. And yeah, so the program I used for stitching the panoramas in the first try had a few problems with that. And you can also see that, I think it was here, maybe. I hope you can see it on YouTube, but there's like a hard line. Like, for me, I can see that these stars look different to these stars. And to give you a little bit more insight to that, let's open the first. Oh no, that's the fixed. That's the wrong one. That was the wrong one. So what I'm trying to show you now is when you reduce, or yeah, that's the Starless version, but that's not the version that I wanted. Here, okay, first Starless version. There you can really see all the errors in the panorama. Bit loud. Okay, sorry, I had to. Pablo, is the music now okay for you? And maybe I have to reposition the chat a bit more so that I can see a bit better when there are new messages coming in. So I think so it isn't better. So okay, like when you have a look at this image, I can make it a bit bigger for you. In this image, it looks good. It looks alright. Like, it seems like that everything worked well. But when you have a look at the image without any stars, you can clearly see some problems. Yep. You can. Yeah, that's really bad. And yeah, that happened, I think, due to the errors in the images, like with the different star shapes in different areas of the image. And also, you can see that there are some discolorations between each images. Like this part here is very red, brownish, orangey, and the other ones are more bluish. And yeah, that was just a pain to fix afterwards. And especially, you can see it here clearly, and you could also see it, I think. Let me see if I have a... no, I don't have it. But you can start to see these problems when you zoom in. Okay, no, you actually can see it. That, yeah, they're hard seams. I really hope you can see it. There are hard seams in the panorama, and these are quite hard to remove when you're dealing like with stars in the image, and you don't want to to have it look fake. And if you want to like merge them more easy or better together in Photoshop, you may have to like fake the stars. So yeah, it was just bad. And when I open the final combined version here, I think that was my final edit on the first attempt. Yeah, PixInsight. And well, the files are quite big. Yeah, I mean, I ended up with this in the first try, and yeah, you can clearly see these. I really hope. Can you see these? Well, can you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, you can see that there's like a hard edge, and yeah, that was really a painful task to remove it. And yeah, okay, so yeah, you can see them. Okay, nice. Okay, so what I wanted to do, like in the next attempt, let's go back to Lightroom. I used all these images. Kind of noticeable. Okay. Yeah, but you maybe get what I'm talking. What I was going to say. Okay, when I had all these images like captured, I did not stop like capturing different parts of the area inside like my field of view. And when we hop into Astro... Oh no, let's go back to PixInsight. It's faster. So I have here all the panels stacked and already calibrated. I don't know, let's use a different one. Let's use this one. This is a stacked and calibrated image that I got when I used the darks, flats, and bias frames to correct like the vignetting and all the dark and hot pixels in the image, and it looks quite nice. And when I had all these images, I wanted to add more data, and I actually captured on my 2-week trip to La Palma a few more images on different areas with like deeper integrations and longer exposures. And so I ended up capturing another like smaller mosaic of the Row of Yuki area. You may have seen that one. I can show it to you here. Come on. Where is it? Here. Basically, this image, I loaded in all the raw data again and wanted to add them to the new panorama. And I also got some data on this round nebula. I don't know how to call it. I think it is the more scientific name for it is SH220 maybe. But yeah, I ended up getting, I think it was like 15 minutes or so on this nebula, because it is quite faint, or a bit more faint. What I want to say is, it is like, it is faint, and I wanted to get more exposure time on it. And oh, I accidentally closed that image. That's bad. I also got some data on this beauty, this dark nebula in the bottom left of the Milky Way core, just to get rid of a bit of the noise and get maybe a bit more faint structure around that nebula. Okay, so what I did on the second attempt, because I also had a few problems with the first one, is that, let me show you again. I think I actually can show you it, but no, I actually can't show. But let's open the old one. Yeah. So as you can see, the image is already like visible. I will get back to what I mean with that. So what I had to do to stitch the image a bit more correctly is I had to stack the data and then pre-stretch the image, like to make a small portion of the image visible. I can show it to you like this. So the images that I get out of AstroPixel Processor, the program that I use to stack the images, will look like this. These are the true raw data that I get out of like unstretched or unedited images when they're stacked and they're like pitch black. And my program, I tried two programs to stitch the panorama. I used the Microsoft Eyes, that's a cool name, the image composite editor to stitch the images, and the image composite editor is a really good and powerful program in my opinion. It's probably the best stitching software for any kind of panorama out there, and it's free. And yeah, but this panorama was a bit challenging, and yeah, I think it had a few problems with the darkness of the image, and I think I deleted all the images. I think I deleted the images, but I actually tried to stitch the panorama in the image composite editor in the true raw state, but when the image was saved and brought into PixInsight, and when I stretched the image, I got some weird like compression artifacts. Like when you see a good image and it's like compressed to like 1 kilobyte or so, I got really weird artifacts in the image, and that way I had to pre-process the images before I even could stitch them, which is not the best way to do it, but it was kind of doable. And yeah, so okay, and I think we can jump to the current image now. Yeah. In the new attempt that I did, you've may followed me on Instagram and my stories on that. I tried to merge these images into one panorama using AstroPixel Processor, because this program is created to stitch like deep and big mosaics in like for deep space astrophotography, and it also works for more wide angle-ish astrophotography. But the problem is that it's a like more try and error program, especially for files that big. When I compared to the image composite editor, it took like 5 minutes to give me a final result, resulting stitched image to have a look at it. But as a pixel processor, I sometimes had to wait hours, even days, to get a image to look at. But the images are good and better, and I come back to that, well, now. And when I come back, first of all, sorry if I'm maybe a bit disoriented. When I come back to the Starless image, okay, when I come back to this to the Starless image, and when I come back to these areas where the images were like discolorated, and especially the hard edges on the stars, like these are not that easy fixable, because as I said, you have to kind of fake the image then now, and it is when you try to remove it or like to fix it, you know what I mean, and it is really hard, and it actually doesn't look that good, especially when you're not doing it like really carefully. And what Astro Pixel processor can do very well is to correct everything in the image. Basically, it can correct all the discoloration in the image, and it also can blend the images more carefully together, so that I don't end up with hard edges and seams in the image. And yeah, that's what I did, and that's why it took so long to do this live stream, because yeah, I worked with Astro Pixel processor for like 4 weeks straight, all day long. Well, not all day long, but basically the entire time when I had free time, trying to stitch the panorama. And yeah, I finally got a result, and the result I got is good, called final. Yeah, and this image is quite big, as you can see. So this is the image that I got. Let's stretch it for you. So this is the image that I got, and yeah, it looked really good. And when we can zoom in, you can also see that like these hard edges are now gone. They're no longer existing. And yeah, it's also included all the data that I had for especially this nebula. As you can see when I zoom in, there's basically no noise in it, which is really good. And also in the raw view key area, it is basically noise free. Like there's a lot of detail and a good amount of signal to work with. But one problem, well, it is not a big problem, but it has and I need to work on it. I had to work on it. Is, as you can see, there are, I don't know why, but there is a bit, well, I can show it a bit better maybe when I increase the saturation of the image. Come on. So okay, I think now you can see it, that I actually don't know why that happened, but there's like now a certain, like I would call it, border in the image, where the sky has a different color to it. But as you can see, the stars they're looking good, and the stitching went well. But yeah, there are some discolorations now, and well, I could do a background neutralization on this, but yeah, I tried it and it actually didn't work. I don't know why, but yeah, I had to remove this manually. And yeah, yeah, that was really weird. And as maybe you can see it, this part here is, yeah, it is blue purplish. I don't know why. I think that's due to the added data for the raw view key area, because this area here is where I added a few few images into it, but I don't know. Okay, so I think we've talked a lot. First of all, do you have any questions before I start editing this image now? Because I think we can start with the image now. I really hope that my computer will not die. And I want to say sorry if the stream will maybe lag for some reason. It's because PixInsight will use like every resource from the computer that it can take. And yeah, maybe the stream will lag a bit when I do some actions. But yeah, do you have any questions? Let me drink something. Okay, so there are no questions. Okay, so I think then we can start. So first of all, what I will do now is get rid of all the empty space in here. And for that I will use the dynamic crop tool in PixInsight. We'll just crop what I need and what I want to work with. And yeah, as you can see, I've captured a lot like useless areas in the sky. Like all this on the right here is basically useless. But yeah, when you're working with basically blind eyes, yeah, in the field, so you can't see what you're shooting. Yeah, that's why you know what I mean, maybe. And yeah, better have more and crop it away rather than like have less and yeah, we have to reshoot like me in the first attempt. So okay, I think the crop looks alright, so let's crop. And let me switch to another music because another song. Okay. Okay. So now we have this image here. And I can close the cropping tool. First of all, what I would do now is, even though I tried it to get rid of this greenish color, I will try to get rid of these, or a bit more of these dark patch down here with the dynamic background extraction. And for that, I will just get background samples for the image so that the program can like adjust the background how it should look. And yeah, for that I just create samples and I have to tweak some settings here, so I just will use my standard settings for that. And smoothing factor, minimum weight sample of 400. Okay, so now I would just go all over the image and just create background samples where I think that there is background in the sky. So I will not use like a sample directly on this yellow nebula. I will just try as good as I can to include only background. And yeah, this, you maybe can see it, but I already can see it. There's this bigger reddish nebula. I think you can see it, but I know that it is there. So yeah, I just can't and I don't want to get or use a sample right here. Yeah, just go all over the image and try to get enough background samples. Yeah. That's some really epic music. here, a few more here. So I think I have enough here, and now we'll go down here. As you can see, there is a gap in this part of the image. I actually don't know why, because in the first image that I got, there wasn't this gap, but well, it is so small in the entire image that I can just make content-aware feel quick. just fill in this gap in Photoshop later. No one will care. And yeah. Okay. So yeah, just adding more background samples, especially down here, this dark patch. But the program can try to adjust this. Yeah. As you can see here, this one is a bit too crazy, maybe. Every time when these boxes are shown red. Okay, sorry. As you can see here, this one is now red. It hasn't enough background to look at. So okay, I think these are enough background samples. And now we'll just perform. And I will just get the program links and like correcting the oh man. Yeah, so this is the model that it got out of all the background samples, and yeah, it's actually really accurate. As you can see, it now has this more dark patch up here, and you can see that this patch here and this is also a bit more dark. And yeah, that worked well, very well. And now we'll just try different correction methods. If we'll first try subtraction, and yeah, like okay, so this is now the image. Let's have a look. And yeah, it looks a bit better. It looks a lot better, especially on top here. And a bit better when I... No. Okay, this is the one. When I have a look, this is the old one, this is the new one. It looks a lot better. It looks better, yes. And yeah, but it still hasn't corrected, I don't know why, it still hasn't corrected this green tint to the image. And also down here, this is a bit more green. But yeah, this can be corrected later. This is not that bad and not that hard to correct. Okay, so now that we have this music, man, I think let me search for a bit more chilled, more relaxed ambient music. No, why not? Why not? Okay, so can close this one, and now we can work more on this image. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so what I will do next is I want to neutralize the background so that the background looks nice and even. But well, as the image has like different background colors, I want to get a background sample of an area that is not discolorated, and I think the best area is around here and maybe down here, but this area has a lot of stars in it, and I need an area where are like absolutely no stars, like pure background, and on the right here there are fewer stars and more background. So yeah, let's use this little area here. We'll open a preview image so that I just have background. I think these smaller stars, they're not important, or will not disturb the correction, and I will just select the reference image as the preview one, and I will just let it run and see what it will do. So, is there an image? Is there a difference? There actually is a slight difference. I think you can see it, but I've seen a difference there. And what I can do now, what I want to try maybe is a color correction. Color calibration, sorry. But I actually didn't use it like at all for all my images, because I personally think that it somehow, at least for how I use it, it like ruins the colors a bit more. But well, let's have a look. For the color calibration, I need the background reference, and I've already created this preview, and I can just select this one, and then I need a reference image for the white balance, I would call it. And no, I will just create a new preview image for, let's say, this area here, which looks neutral compared to this one up here, which we will correct later. And yeah, we'll just select the preview 2 as our white reference, and then let's have a look what it does. So as you can see, that's, well, it is way more greenish now. When we re-stretch it, yeah, the colors are way too green now. I actually don't know why it does this, and I actually prefer, I think it is maybe more accurate, like scientifically accurate, but I prefer the version without the color calibration. It looks more natural to my eye, at least. So I will just leave it without any color correction, and I can delete all the previews for now. And the next thing what we can do is try to get rid of this green color a bit. And for that I will use a process called SCNR, and well, as it is described here, color to remove green. And I typically use average neutral or maximum neutral, and just have a look at what looks better, and I will just run this. Yeah, and as you can see, the green color is, I hope you can see it. The green color is almost gone now. There are no more green colors in the image. I hope you can see it here, maybe. Yeah, I can see it pretty hard. So now there are no more disturbing green parts, but this area up here is still a bit brighter, I think. And you can see it especially here, that this part here is darker and this one up here is more bright, or it has more, it seems to have more contrast in it. But yeah, we will fix this all later. What I will do now, as we are still in the like raw mode of the image, I haven't done any like real changes to the image, as like when you have the images here in Lightroom. I don't know, let's open up the sky again, as you can see that all the images you get, they're already like pre-edited. You can see what you get, and yeah, that's basically a wrong view, and this is the more correct view. It is still in the raw state, but just pre-edited, as this what I'm doing right here all the time is just a preview of what it will look when we finally stretch the image. And I think that's what we are doing now. Okay, so let's unstretch the image again, and now I will use a combination of the arcsyn stretch and the histogram transformation. So what the arcsyn stretch does is it basically it prevents the colors from like disappearing when you stretch the image. You have to know that when you stretch images, then you will lose color information. Yeah, it's not that good. And what the arcsyn stretch does, it tries to prevent the color information in the image, but also stretch the image. And yeah, let's open the real-time preview and just increase the stretch factor, and I will just stretch it to a point, like when you have the black image here, almost black image, I'll just stretch it so that it's a bit brighter. And then I will adjust the black point, but not too much. Well, then you can see that it's getting black when I have the highlight values clipped to 0, so that this is all black now. This is not good. I'll just stretch it so far that I don't get these fully black areas in the sky. I will actually have the black point a bit too low. And yeah, that's looking good. And now I will apply it. Okay. So now it is a bit brighter, and you actually can like stretch the image in one go. But in my experience, as you can see, especially here, that now the background is way too saturated. It is way too colorful, and well, that doesn't look good. So, okay, sorry. What I prefer to do is to stretch the image just to a point where I start to see a bit more of the image. I hope you know what I mean. And then let's try this. Hey Benjamin, how are you doing, man? SCNR? Yes. So that looks good so far. But well, we can do a bit better. Let's do one more arcsyn stretch. I would say this one is good. Okay, so that's good. When we do a better preview of the stretch now, you can see that this stretch looks way better now. And yeah, to finalize, could be airglow even. What do you mean exactly, Benjamin? Do you mean like the discoloration in the background? Yeah, maybe, but the arcsyn stretch is known to like boost the colors too strong when you do the stretch too heavy. But yeah, the final stretch of the image I will do with the histogram transformation, and just with the screen transfer function I would just just click on the nuke button to stretch the image, and then I will set the values that it made to get this image. I will apply it to the histogram transformation, and then I will just apply it for real on the image now, and not as a preview. Hey Euros Fink, I hope that Euros is correct. Hey man, how are you, man? Okay, so now we have a bit better image to work with. Yeah, and what I will actually do is to adjust the black point a bit more. That's too crazy, because the background sky is still a bit bright and the overall image is a bit low contrasty. I think this one looks better. Yep, that one looks good. Okay, so when you have a look at the image now here, you can see there's still a lot of good data in here. Still looks really good. But yeah, in the next step, as I have stretched the image now, I will try to correct all the uneven areas in the image. And for that, I will save the image and jump over to Photoshop. I will just call this 135 new stretched. Yeah. And now we can open this one in Photoshop. Okay, so now we are here. What we can do to see a bit more of the unevenness in the image, I can boost the image a bit more. And then, yeah, I can see that this area looks a bit different to this one down here. And yeah, especially the colors. I didn't get here early. Will you upload the stream after? Yes, this live stream will stay on YouTube, and you can watch it as many times as you want when the stream is done. Okay, I think what I did first on the image was to correct this color, because as you can see, this is the color that I want to get. This orange brownish color, and up here it is, I don't know why, as I said, but this is more green yellowish, and I want to also correct this patch up here. And what I will do for that is just create a mask, just lazy, roughly for this area of the image, and then I will get with curve adjustments. I will just, first of all, will try to reduce the amount of green that's in there. I think that already does help, especially in here. Yeah, that definitely helps. And I will also try to increase the contrast a tiny bit. Maybe before and after, it looks better. But I think that now there's maybe a bit too much red in the image, maybe. Whoopa. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. And yeah, now I get a hard edge due to my hard mask, and I will just will feather the edge a bit. And wow, I just noticed that my Photoshop is still in German. I hope this is not too bad. And well, I will just say everything that I will do in English and all the actions that I do. I hope that's okay. And yeah, this looks quite a lot better in my opinion. I think especially up here in this nebula here, the Blue Horsehead Nebula, that before I did this adjustment it looked a bit too green, and now it looks way more natural, and especially more even with the entire image. Yeah, okay, so let's just reduce the layer to a new background layer, and now I will try to adjust this area here because I think that up here the contrast is somehow different. I think we can just try that by doing another mask and do another curves adjustment and just pull up the saturation, not the saturation, the contrast, and with a feather on the mask. I think the contrast is now better with the stars, but now the background is a bit too dark. This one is better. Maybe you can see it when I zoom in here, that the contrast up here is stronger than here, and with this adjustment the contrast is now adjusted. And yeah, what I love about this image, as you can see, there are so many little things in this image, like this the star cluster here. It's so cool. I really want to do more of these big mosaics in the future. Like you just have to zoom in to appreciate all the details in the image. Okay, so now that this part is corrected, let's merge that down again. And now what we can do next, I think personally that this right here is way too blue when we boost the saturation. And you can see that everything is basically the same except for this part here and also this part down here. So yeah, let's just try to adjust that. Just doing a mask, a lazy mask again, and try to reduce the amount of blue that's in there with curves adjustments again. Now this looks better, but I have to feather the edge again. Now this one looks a bit better. We can always check that by boosting the saturation again. Ah, okay, Benjamin, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, nice. Ah, nice. I'm curious what you get out of your 135 image. Trying to see if I can learn something new tonight. Yeah, maybe you can learn a few things, maybe. So again, now this corner here looks a bit better now. It's more natural. Now it's good, okay. Yep. So, yep, let's remove that again and merge that down. And now we can try to fix this corner here on the bottom right. It is not that important, this corner. You could also crop it away, but well, I really want to use the entire image. And I just want to try, not with a what's it called, with a curves adjustment. I want to try it with a hue and saturation adjustment in the cyan and blue tones, just to pull down the saturation and maybe also the brightness. When we zoom in, maybe you can see it. I can see that the cyan is now a bit less. When we go to the bluish tones, and see, but I will not change that. I will want to reduce the saturation and the brightness. Now again, feather the edge a bit more. And now that this is a bit too extreme, maybe a bit too extreme. I will just decrease the opacity by like 50%. And yeah, I think that this corner looks good now. And I will also do further improvements to all the uneven parts of the image later when I have the stars removed of the image. We'll just get a basic overview of this now. Okay, what about noise reduction in PixInsight? You did not apply it before stretching. It's better if you did this before going to linear. Yes, I know, but the signal is so good in this image, as you can see, that I really don't have to apply a lot of noise reduction. And to be honest, I have mixed experiences with noise reduction in PixInsight, and especially when you have enough signal in the image, like in this here, as you can see, when I zoom in really closely, the only real noise it's in here is a bit of chroma noise, a bit of color noise, and a little bit of luminance noise, and I can just get rid of that later in applying a like noise reduction after stretching. That's totally fine. And yeah, there is signal there. That's good. And if you have, I think personally, when you have signal to work with, then I would never apply noise reduction, or not too much, I would say. Yeah. So okay, let's get back to the image. I think when I compare now the lower part of the image to the upper part, is that there is a lot less contrast. And now we can try to adjust this a bit more. There's also a bit less contrast in this area, so maybe we can do a rough mask around this area here. Just rough. And try to push the contrast a bit. Also always with a feathered edge on the mask. And now this looks better in my opinion. But maybe this part up here is a bit too dark now, so I would just, with a low flow, I would just paint it away a bit. Yeah, that looks better. A lot better in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. Maybe we can also adjust the colors down here a bit more. No, that's the wrong side. Hello? What? Why? What? Okay. No, it's working. Just with a gradient mask. I'll adjust the contrast a bit, and also I think that this patch down here has also a bit too much green in it, so we'll just reduce that a bit. I think that looks better now, especially when we compare to the zoomed out view. Yeah, a lot better I think, but maybe the contrast is a bit too strong now. That looks better. That looks better now. Okay, that's good. I think we can now, because now we want what we want when we go back to the final result. What we want to see is this down here. All this juicy dust and all this color information and details that are in here. What we have to do for this now is to make this image starless, and for that I will save it again now with a, like, what should we call it, color corrected, like CC for color correction. And let's that's going to be a slow part actually. Oh no, let's leave that open. No, not. Now color corrected version, exactly. Yeah, so now I've done basically all the standard adjustments that you need for this state of the image. The stars are looking quite good, and they are not over processed. Maybe a slight, maybe a teeny tiny bit too much. But yeah, if we would like work on that more with the stars in the image, you will most likely ruin the stars, and we really want to preserve the aesthetic of the stars with the color information and the overall look to them. So now I will just use StarNet to get rid of the stars in the image, and I think that this will take a bit now, and I really hope that it will not take too long. So I will just open the StarNet process here and create a star mask, so that when the stars are removed, I get a new like layer with the stars in it, and the original layer will just contain the nebulosity and like the image without the stars. And I really hope that the program will not kill my PC now when I start it. Yeah, and I think now it's the perfect perfect time to answer some questions, because this I think that this will take about 10 to 15 minutes. I hope so. And yeah, this will take a bit. So if you have questions about anything, just ask. Maybe we can jump to another part of the music now. Why not? What I can show you, a bit more behind the scenes maybe for this image that I haven't included in the first video. No, I've saved them here. Palma, video. What I have here? What do I have here? No. Where is it? Where is it? Was it here? Maybe it was here. Ah, yeah. This was in the third night for the like. This was not the actually the first the third night. This was just the third image section where I finished getting images for the 135 panorama, and as you can see, La Palma beautiful with all these clouds down here. Yeah, it was quite beautiful. I don't know, maybe I have some more. I really hope I have better view of that. Yep. Yeah, that was really cool, and I actually can't wait to go back, if we can go back anytime soon, because of the volcano that erupted down here yesterday. It was, or the day before. Yeah, that was a really cool night, and but there were also a really strong. There was a really strong wind, like. If you were on Iceland, for example, when you got like really strong winds, that was crazy on that night. We had to search a spot to, yeah, like to be safe from the wind, because you couldn't even get a sharp shot at 15 mil, for example, or 14 mil. Yeah, the wind was just crazy in that night. They have some more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just... that's me. On the tracker. There's my mate, Florian, and behind Florian with this red light was Thomas Slovinsky, if you know him maybe. That was also really cool. We met up with him in this night. And yeah, just did images there. So we're at 17%, okay. Yeah, sorry, we have to wait a bit for that. Sadly, we have to wait for this. Now that's more time-lapse. And there actually was a... as you can see in the middle of the image now, there was a... yeah, here, there was a nice little shooting star. Yeah, what is in this video? That is Thomas. Oh, that was such a cool night, man. That was cool. Yeah, you can see it again, the Milky Way. Oh man, I really miss the La Palma sky. I really miss it. You have other photos of the trip? Yeah, of course. Or do you mean like other big projects? I have a few unpublished photos. Yeah, but I will. I don't even think that I've edited all images already. I think I have a few left. But yeah, I'm actually just too lazy right now. I really focused on this image just to get it done, and yeah, the result speaks for itself. I think the image result was... I think the result was good. And what we can maybe do, have a look at the old image, the old one, this one. Yeah. Come on, Lightroom, can you please load? Okay. Yeah, the old image, I really don't like it anymore, to be 100% honest. The colors are not that good, and there are a lot of details that are missing in the image, I think. And yeah, the overall aesthetic of the image is not to my taste anymore. Yeah, I prefer this version a lot more. And yeah, that's just a crop. The full image I can show you later in full detail. If the one that we will edit now is worse somehow, but I think maybe we will actually get a better version of this image. But this image is really perfect in my opinion. It's just the way how I wanted it to look. Yes, for me it's better. Yeah, it is good. It's really good. I mean, when you zoom in, when you see these details, that's just crazy. And I mean, you have to keep in mind that for all the areas that are not a round row of Yuki here are just 3-minute exposures when combined, like 6 times 30 seconds each image. I mean, the amount of detail, it's really good. Yeah, I'm overall just happy with this image. Really happy. Yeah, okay, let's see. 36%. Oh, damn it. That's taking long. I think I can get these details with a 24mm. Maybe. Actually, when I open this one, I can recently opened images here. I did in the first night. I did this image. That's just a 2-panel mosaic with the with a 35mm lens, and as you can see, like, this is way over processed. I really don't like this. But as you, when you compare these details here to these details, I mean, when I put them side by side, what the fuck? That's not so good. Okay. Then let's stay on this view. Okay, now Photoshop is frozen. Hello? No, okay. The image is frozen. Why ever? Okay. Yeah, the details are there. And I think personally that you get a way better images. I mean, you could compare like a 30-second exposure with a 35mm lens and a 135mm lens. When you this image, yeah, this is not froze. Why ever? This image is, I don't know why. It's just, that's a weird bug. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, you just can't compare the details in the image, and I actually think that you get more signal when you do the exact amount of exposure time, just with a more zoomed in lens. You get more details for sure, but I think that the noise somehow is better. I mean, it makes sense when you have this image with 35mm captured and also this field of view with 135mm, but just zoomed out like this one. Yeah. Okay, halfway through. Man, sorry for that. I actually forgot that this will take so long. Yeah. But I think we're actually halfway through to the processing. What I will do next is basically just work at the Starless version of the image, and on the Starless version of the image, you can get crazy details within like 5 minutes. You will see it. It is crazy how to work, like how to combine a normal process with a starless image. It really makes a difference. And there are actually, I think there is now especially when you're not using PixInsight, or you don't want to use, or you're too lazy to use StarNet, because StarNet is not inside PixInsight. It's a separate program, just linked into PixInsight, but it's not available like with an integration for Photoshop. But there is a plugin now. I don't know if, who made the plugin, but there is a similar plugin that basically does the same and even better in some cases, just for Photoshop. And I think I will have a look at this. StarNet is free, but I think the new plugin is like 10 bucks or so. So it is affordable and it's useful, especially when you can really integrate it into your workflow. Yeah, let's change the colors in the background. I think red is good. Yeah, let's some magenta. I think magenta looks good. 60%. Yay. So fast. But I mean, the image is just extremely big. So when you have like a standard 24 megapixel image with a 35mm lens, or like any lens, it will take, I don't know, 1 minute or so. It's quite fast. But yeah, when you have such a big image, it adds up in time. I wish I could skip this part. Oh man. I really wish I could. Let's have a look to kill some time at Astrobin. Maybe there are some new epic images that we've missed. I really highly recommend Astrobin if you don't know this website. It's really good resource for really good astrophotography. Like, there are some images that you don't even find on Instagram because they're, I don't know, too lazy to upload them to Instagram. Yeah, I mean, just look at this. That's some juicy data. That is some really good data you got in here. Oh, I know this one, the good old Andy. Aports. This guy is a genius. He's really good. Yeah. Dude, 60 hours integration time. That is just crazy. That's also really crazy, like 1,800 seconds. What is this? That's a half an hour worth of exposure time just for a single image. That's not bad. That's not bad, man. So, 77%, almost finished. That's also a really tough object to shoot, the Dolphin Nebula. That's a really tough one. Again, 44 hours exposure time. Holy. There's some really serious guys in here. Oh, this is also really crazy. What? Iris Nebula and HA. Is there HA? The good old H alpha data. 81%. Slowly but surely. So let's have a look. Is there a good amount of H alpha in there? Where are you? Iris. Are we in the correct survey? Red, yes. Wait, he has HA down here. Yeah, there actually is some. I think this one is this HA. This. Yes, it is. Ah, crazy. Didn't know that there is HA so close to This one. Yeah, exactly. The grab a coffee part of the process. Yeah. But well, 86% almost true. Yeah. And I mean, my processor is not even like maxed out. I have like 70% CPU usage. Could use a bit more maybe. Well, yeah. I don't complain. Oh, well, this is actually an area that I really want to shoot sometime in the future. Because when I have a look at colored version, I mean, with my current setup, get a really nice field of view. And when we go to 135, there's also a lot of crazy goodness in here. Yeah, I mean, I have really big plans for a winter season, especially for this bad boy. I really want to do a 3x3 panel of Orion with the 135, like this. Yeah, that's this winter season is going to be crazy if we get clear skies. If we get clear skies, 93%, okay. And maybe with my deep sky setup, also maybe something like this or this. That's going to be crazy, but well, clear skies. Clear skies. You need clear skies. When we have a look at the forecast now, well, there are maybe 1 or 2 clear nights, but well, isn't it full moon now? I think we have almost today is full moon. Perfect. So not perfect conditions. 97, okay, I think we can skip this and just wait here again. Come on! 99% done! Done. Yep. Now it is done. Finally. So, now we can continue. So now, after Starnet, I got this cute star mask containing all the stars in the image. It's looking really crazy. I mean, you can see the nebula even without the nebula because of the shape that are empty of stars. Or here, the row of Yuki area. It's so crazy. Okay, so now we can work on this one. And first of all, I will save this as Starless. Now we can have a lot of fun with this photo. As you can see, now that the stars are gone, we have revealed a lot of the faint nebulosity in the background. That, like, I mean, look up here. This when we go back and add the stars back in, there was basically nothing visible, and now all the good stuff is visible. And now let's try to do another arcsyn stretch, just to boost the image a little bit. Say like this. And now you can really see what's going on up here. It's so crazy. I would just apply this to the image. Loading, 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 loading. Okay, perfect. And now with this image, I first have to look if it is too strong. The effect, I don't think it is too strong. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Now we can save this image again and hop over to yeah, I can just override this one. Photoshop, because I really want to do local adjustments. And you can do local adjustments in PixInsight, but I actually don't know how, and I'm too lazy for that when Photoshop is the easier way. Let's just open the Starless image. And as I said, now we can really go crazy. Now we can apply all different kinds of contrast adjustments and color adjustments. And first of all, I really want to adjust the contrast in the background, and then afterwards the contrast in the Milky Way, and then the colors in the image. And maybe I will first of all do another local adjustment, because I think maybe you can see it. This area here is still less contrasty than this one up here. And then I will just again draw a approximate area, approximate mask for that, and then that will just boost the contrast in here by applying a good old S curve. Maybe like this. And then also again with a nice feathered edge. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And there's also again a bit green, a bit too much green for my taste. Yeah, that looks better. That looks a lot better to me. Okay, and what I can see now from this image is that this area here is also a bit uneven compared to the other parts. It's just not as contrasty, not as detailed as I would like to. So we'll just again draw a lazy mask. Just adjust everything to look nice and smooth. Yeah, that's way better. I mean, you can really see that when I turn off the adjustment layer, that there is some sort of, what even call it, haziness. It's low contrast and also hazy a bit. But now this is corrected. Yeah, we can merge that down again. And there is maybe, but I can fix that later. Maybe this one, this here is maybe a bit too dark, maybe. But well, you actually can't know if this is too dark, because I think you just don't know how it really looks. It's just like personal preference on that point. I mean, overall now it's all personal preference, and well, especially also get rid of these bluish colors here later, because I don't think that there's too much blue in these darker parts of the core. And yeah, and we will also boost all these faint colors here, and we will fix this now. We'll try to fix this because this is more or less a stitching error. I will maybe with a hue saturation try to make it a bit on the yellowish range, a bit desaturated. It looks a bit better. Again with a feathered edge. It looks a bit better. Yeah, tiny bit better. Okay, what I also see now, this part here is really contrasty, and this part here again is somehow not that contrasty. Don't know why. But yeah, it's easy fixable. Yeah, that looks good. Better. And now the feathered edge. Yeah, that looks better now. Maybe I have to do some. Maybe I will do another adjustment with the same mask and just pull down the blacks, these black parts. That's not working too good. Maybe like this, but I really don't want to affect this part here, so we'll just remove that. We'll just brush away this. Maybe also this part here. Yeah, as you can see, it looks better now. I think personally this looks better now. Yeah, that's better. And you can also see a bit more details and contrast in this nebula down here. I don't even know what this is called, because I can only see this from La Palma. Okay, merge that down again. I think maybe you have the question in mind why I'm not working non-destructive, like why I don't save all the adjustments so that I can go back on that later. Is I don't want my file size to explode. I actually, on the first try a few months ago with the first image, I tried it to have all my layers saved in an image, but I think the file was, I don't know, 20 gigabytes big or so. I mean, when you have a look, this image is 16,000 by 15,000 pixels, and that's already 1.4 gigabytes big. And that's the Starless version. I think the Starless version is already smaller because it has a lot less details in it. And when you add all the layers onto it, well, the file size will explode. I can really tell you that. Okay, so now we can really focus on bringing this part a bit more out. Just make a mask again. I see that this part is already contrasty enough. I would just make a lazy mask again. Or just play around with contrast, and yeah, as you can see already, this slide, well, not slide, this moderate S-curve pulls out so many details in the image. So crazy. That's so cool. And yeah, what I see now, again, with the added contrast, is that the background is too purple magenta-ish, and this patch here also is, for my taste, a bit too dark, so we will focus on that after this. Just feather the edge again. This looks good. And then I can now try to adjust this one. Just make it a bit brighter with a soft edge again. Yeah, that looks good so far. And maybe I can try for this to get rid of this magenta-ish color by reducing the blue and maybe the red. That's a bit better. But I will get rid of these magenta colors easy later. Oh, that's looking good so far. I'll just merge that down again to save time. Okay, so now that this part is more to the taste that I wanted, I can focus on this down here, and for that I will just, because there are no uneven, maybe the reason why I'm looking down sometimes is because I can see my keyboard reflecting in the monitor. No, I think this looks good, at least for now. So, how much edit did you get per panel? I got 3 minutes of exposure for each panel, but on this take I included more data on, well, I added data that I captured on the trip for this dark nebula. I don't know what's it called, for the Row of Yuki area and for this nebula up here, like for the fainter regions that I really wanted to push. And for the fainter regions I got, I actually, I'm not sure, I think between 10 and 15 minutes to add on that. So it's not much data actually. And now you can actually see some noise, but mostly color noise and a little bit of luminance noise. But well, this is easy fixable. And in such a big image, I actually will not apply too much noise reduction, because, well, you just don't have to. You don't see the noise when you're zoomed out, and even when you're zoomed in like this far, you can reduce it a little bit, and then it's not noticeable. And when you add the stars back in, it also is a bit more in the background, the noise. So yeah, okay, let's focus again on this bottom left part. Just do an S-curve again, but only applying it on this part of the sky. Yeah, that's looking already better. And now, okay, I think the contrast levels are now good, except for a few local contrast adjustments that I will do later. But now, let's do a winter trip to La Palma. Yeah, why not? Why not? If we can travel. I mean, you've seen the eruption of the volcano there. Maybe if we are not that lucky, maybe they will close the airport. I don't know. But yeah, let's maybe. I mean, I would be down for a winter trip. I'm really down for that. Yeah, and I also see that this part here is also not right. But well, let's focus again on this part here. I think with the contrast adjusted now, I think that this part here, there's like a triangular shape to it that doesn't look how I want it to. So we'll try maybe a bit darker and tiny bit blue and green maybe to adjust. Now with a feathered edge, I think this is a bit better because it stands out. It stood out a bit more, and now it's a bit more in the background. Yeah, I think this is better. And one trick actually that I've learned while editing this image, well, I knew that this trick works, but I think it's especially useful when you're editing images like this, when the image is merged down, is to just rotate the image. I think when you're looking at this image for a longer period of time, like for, let's say, like we do, for 1, 2, 3 hours, you really got focused on like how you see it all the time. But I think when you just rotate it, let's say to 100 degrees, you maybe see something different. You may find something that you haven't looked at before. Maybe. And I actually also really prefer this angle, this orientation of the Milky Way. I don't know. I really wished I would have born in the southern hemisphere. I don't know. I really prefer this point of view, the core. Actually, don't know if is it right this side. I think it's on this side. No, I think yeah. But yeah. I think we can focus now a bit more on this part here. I think on this part up on the top right, you can pull down the. It's actually not looking too bad when we darken the image overall. Yeah, New Zealand is crazy. I think especially I think the top places for Southern Hemisphere are well, Chile is like the #1 spot. Then Australia, New Zealand. I think Australia is a lot better compared to New Zealand because of the weather. I think that New Zealand has a lot less clear nights than like Australia. I think when we have a look, like let's have a look right now to Australia. Well, I mean, pretty much all parts of Australia is clear right now. And when we have a look tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I mean, there are some parts, but I think when you're moving more inland, you can get a lot more clear skies. When you go to New Zealand, I think New Zealand has lot less good weather. Yeah, rain days. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, let's have a look at La Palma just for just interested. Yeah. Oh, they've changed the camera position after like 4 years. Crazy. I mean, on La Palma you have like, I don't know, I think 320 clear nights, at least when you're above sea level clouds. Well, you sometimes have some high clouds like these in the distance, but clear, it's basically clear all year round, especially in the midsummer. But the only downside to La Palma is the dust, is the Sahara Desert sand. I mean, when you have a look at the aerosols, I don't know if it. Oh man, you can even see the volcano like polluting the air. South Island is not that bad, okay. Yeah, I'm not that into New Zealand, but yeah, I mean, when you really have a lot of problems with Sahara sand. Not now, but when you have bad luck, you can travel there and have 2 weeks just of like this. I mean, all this yellow is basically like dust and particles in the air that are just bad for the transparency. And sometimes when you have bad luck, you just find yourself in a period where this dust is over the Canary Islands, and that's, yeah, you have to be lucky when you want to go there. Okay, so go back to the editing. Actually, I think actually that I will keep this. This looks actually really cool especially on this lower left part. This more contrasty. I think, yeah, let's focus again on this part because this looks nice now. But let's try to fix a bit of these magenta-ish colors. Yeah, that's better, I think. Yeah, that's better. Let's put that to, I don't know, 75%. Oh yeah, oh my god, man. Lake Tekapo is probably one of my highest points on the bucket list. I think this is one of the most beautiful areas in the world. Really think. And yeah, I mean, when we go back to locations for Southern Hemisphere, like Chile is one of the best, if not the best, location to get Southern Hemisphere clear skies and a look at the Milky Way. Then like Namibia is also really good, and yeah, Australia and then New Zealand. Yeah, okay. So let's get back into this. I think we can adjust the contrast again here a bit, because this part here looks more contrasty to this compared to this. Looks better now in my opinion. Yeah, that looks better. And we can also, what I see now is that this part here this part here somehow is a bit too red. You can just pull down the red. Yeah, that's a lot better. Betterish. And somehow in this area, there's a lot of greenish color in it. So let's try to get rid of this. Next year we go Chile. Maybe, yeah, why not? I mean, Chile is the highest bucket list of any astrophotographer, I think. Yeah, now the screen cast is more controlled. I think the bright parts, yeah, the bright parts could be brighter. Maybe a little bit too blue. Yeah, that looks good. That looks nice. I mean, you can already see this. This looks so good. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, when I finished the processing of this image yesterday, I really was like this. What? I mean, that's what I wanted initially. That's what I really wanted to get, and I really think we can replicate this, and maybe even do a little bit of a better job, especially around this. I don't know. Let's see. So, okay, now we are back here. Yeah, you can see we've done the adjustments here and down there. Looks way better now. So let's merge them down together again. Save time. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Good. So now let's focus on this area here. And as you can see, maybe there's some banding somehow. I don't know. I don't know why this happened. But it's so subtle. You actually don't even notice it that hard. So let's apply a... Just another curves adjustment to make this part darker. Just a bit. I mean, the problem is I can't really fix all these weird colors down here. Because this, like, exactly here is like the horizontal edge. The edge of the horizon is here. Normally, I think the best way would it be like to crop away this, to crop away that, and yeah, maybe I will do this and just have only the better part of the image. But yeah, let's focus again here. But this is now fixed. And I don't know, are there any other parts of the image? Maybe when we turn it around again. Just turn it around again. Yeah. So here is a part that's brighter than the rest. Yeah, better. That's better. And I think now, we have fixed most. Maybe down here is a bit dark. Bit too dark. Yeah, that also looks better. I think now we can focus a bit more on colors. Because this is not a good looking image from the colors perspective. I mean, this is looking fine, and this is looking fine, but well, there's some green in here. Let's try to fix that first. With a hue and saturation. Let's try, is there any green? Yes, but not that much. Let's Let's just reduce the saturation a bit. I think now it's on the yellow tones. Yep, it's more on the yellow tones. Yeah, that looks a lot better, but I think we should only adjust it on this part. Yes, that looks way better. And I actually don't know if it is accurate, but I think, and there's also some discoloration on here. I don't know why. But I think that this part here should also be a bit more contrasty. So let's just make a rough mask again. Just bring a bit more contrast in. Make it that's better. That's better. What next? What next? What can we do next? I think that this part is still a little bit too blue. Let's try to fix that. But this time again with the hue and saturation. The blue tones. That's totally blue. Not this maybe. I don't know, maybe something like this. So that it blends in more nicely. Reduce the opacity maybe by 30%. And maybe add a bit more. I think this is also a bit too dark again. I mean, overall conclusion for now, especially on this panorama, I have to do a lot of local adjustments. Especially when you capture images over different nights, you most likely will end with different looking images, so you have to adjust a lot. But it's not that hard to correct these. It's a painful task, maybe for some of you it's painful. I enjoy it. But yeah, so okay, I think the colors in the bottom part are alright, but not up here. Let's try to do a selective color adjustments in the magenta tones. And try to reduce them a bit. Adjust them. I mean, can you see already these two little sliders here? I think this looks way better now. Way more natural. Especially in this top right part of the image. It looks way more natural. And also down here, it actually has brightened up, I think, the images, the parts of the image. Yeah, that's already looking good. I think we can leave it with that. Okay, now I will focus. What can we do next? I think I have to adjust a bit more of the color in the galactic core, because I really want this brown orangey tones all over the Milky Way where this color should be at. I think this is still too yellow and too greenish. So maybe we can make a lazy adjustment again, a lazy mask like this, where this color is at, with a selective color adjustment in the yellow tones. Yeah, when I pull out the cyan, that helped. Why can I not zoom in now? This helped a lot, I think. As we should apply the feather on the mask. Now this already looks way better. At least on my monitor here. But maybe we can tweak a little bit more. When we push a bit the magenta tones. Yeah, that's looking good. And the yellows. And the yellows, maybe actually a bit in the yellows more. And the blacks. Maybe a bit more on the blacks. I think now the colors in the core are how I like them to be. What's next? What's next? I think, personally, that these dark areas here are a bit too dark. I think we should brighten them up a bit. Just a bit. And also try to remove the blue and the green a bit. Again with a feathered edge. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Looks more neutral in my eyes. I can just stay in this and just use the brush. And just paint in the areas that I want to brighten up and also adjust a bit. Also this one up here. Yes, that's looking good to my eye. What we can do maybe here, because this is more, these are all warm tones, and this down here is, well, it's cold and blue. I can do another curves adjustment later and just a bit more contrast again, and then just get rid of all the blue. Yeah, that looks way better. That looks way better. And I actually think maybe on this corner, or not a corner, on this edge, on the seam that we had problems at the beginning, I think that when I follow this again and go maybe like this, like in this area, I think that this is a bit too magenta purplish still. So with a selective color adjustment again, I can just, yeah, that's better, I think. I can just, sorry, hello. Yeah, that's better, I think. Oh, that's good. Maybe by a tiny bit too much. So let's reduce the opacity again with just 30%. Yes, that's good. That's good. And what I see all the time now is that, personally, I think that the area around here is, compared to this, a bit dark. So I will just we'll do it lazy. Maybe this will work. Just brighten it up. Do you see what I mean? When I turn it off, that this like almost circular area is a bit too dark, at least for my eye. And now it's also a bit too green. So yeah, this is looking way better now. Okay, I actually think that it's most of all what I wanted to do. Especially for color correction. I think the only thing that I will do next is maybe I will adjust this part here also with the magentas. Yep. To reduce the magenta and blue tones in this dark regions. Yep, that's looking good. And now in the blue tones. Yeah, that will work. That will work good. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Yes. This looks way better in my opinion. But I have to be careful not to kill any colors in the nebulosity around here. But I actually think that I fixed the colors in the nebulosity a bit. Yeah, and that's also one thing we can do now is to boost the colors a bit more. But before I will boost anything in here, we will jump back to PixInsight. So this is the image where we started with the Starless process. And now I think it's looking a bit better when you compare it. This is the one that we are ended up now. This is the version that we started with. You have a lot more contrast and details, and more separation between background and all the velocity around here and here. And the colors are a lot better in my opinion. But I think now before we apply any more contrast adjustment, we should fix a bit of the dynamic range in the image, because this part here is, for my eye, a bit too bright, and maybe not this part looks good, but I think that this is a bit too strong. And for that, we can use something called HDR multiscale transform. And I will just do a little preview window on that so that we can work on this before we apply anything to the entire image. And I will just do, let's say, layers 9, and I will apply it only to the lightness, and I will also put a lightness mask on that. These are just my basic settings, and they usually work. As you can see, it looks way better now, at least for my eye. You have, well, as it says, you have a better dynamic range, in the image now. You have a lot more. Yeah, that's bright, and that's more natural. And well, let's see what it does on the entire image. Oh man, we're already 2 hours in. The waiting game. I think it's time to change the colors. Come on. Okay, so it's finished now. I think yellow is good. It's good for now. Okay, let's remove this mask. I think this looks way better now. When we compare it to before and after, all this part down here is more defined now. Yeah, maybe it is a bit too strong, a tiny bit too strong down here, but that this brightness will come back either way. I mean, it would just, when we do next the arcs stretch again, because this is where the fun begins again. Maybe this is too strong. Actually, I think I will do, because as you can see, I really want to have like this amount of stretch in the image, approximately around there, but it will destroy a lot of the dark areas in the image, and I think we should do a mask before we apply the stretch again. And I will use this, where is it? Range R for range selection, that is. Just do on the live view preview. Yep, the lower limit. What's the lightness? Okay, so these are just the the bright parts, I assume. Yep, so the lower limit should be something like this, maybe. So what's the fuzziness? Smoothness, a bit more smooth. Yep, so that looks good. So let's apply it to the image. So now we can have a range mask. When we apply it to this, you can see that all the red parts will not be touched now. Well, that's the plan at least. And when we go to the arcs and stretch again now, yep, you can see that now this red warning is no longer appearing. Well, at least not that strong. Maybe because down here I can see that there are still some of these red parts. I think we have to adjust the mask a bit more. Maybe a bit. Yeah, maybe like this. I think this is better. Let's try this one. Arcs in stretch again. Yep, now it works. I think this looks good. Yep. Yep, let's stick with these settings. Apply them. Chile is number 1. Yeah. And hi, Steffen. Hi. Okay, so let's remove the mask. Yeah, that looks good. When we zoom in, always zoom in to double and triple check if everything looks how you want it to look. Yeah, that looks good. I think the processing for the Starless version is pretty much finished now. Let's delete the preview. Maybe I will do some curves adjustments again, but this time here directly in PixInsight. I think this image bit too blue. Yeah, there was definitely a lot too much blue in it. Can we push the reds maybe a bit? Yep, that looks good. And then maybe we can start adjusting the saturation a little bit. It's also something that I want to do next, is to really bring out these nebulae again. Looks good. Yeah, so let's try these settings. I mean, this is way too blue. That's a okay, way better now. Way better, in my opinion. And now let's do the magic trick. Let's put the stars back into the image. And that's pretty easy. We just go into pixel math, use the expression editor, and we use our Starless image as the base, and we will just add the star layer on top of it. And when we just execute the process, and then, well, now the stars are back here. I don't know why, but now the stars are here. Wait, let me try that again. I don't want on the star mask, I want it on this image. Here. On this one, please. Den du es seh. Den du es seh. I really don't know how to how to say your name, sorry. But hi, welcome to the stream. Okay, so now that the stars are back, we... Wait, what is this? Okay, YouTube tells me that my stream is lagging, but the stream isn't lagging. Is it? Is it lagging? Is the stream lagging? I don't think so, because I see it in the preview window. It's not really lagging. Okay, so the stars are back here, and you can see a lot of goodness in here. But yeah, now begins another fun part. So we just save this, and then we go back to Photoshop. What should we call it? Just call it, I don't know. Just call it, I don't know. And what I've almost forgot, we should save the new Starless version, because we may need it again later. Starless V2. I love these names. I really love it. Okay, so this one, it already looks really good. But we still have a lot of work to do, in my opinion. And I think the easiest way is to do some adjustments is in the camera raw filter now. So this part here is again really bright. We just pull down the what is it called in English? Yeah, you know what I mean. The bright parts of the image. That already looks really cool, and now we maybe have to adjust the color balance again to something more like this, and then we pull down the blacks and the shadows, the highlights, that's what it's called, the highlights, and add some contrast maybe. Add some contrast maybe, and that actually looks quite good for now. What I also love is the calibration tab at the bottom here, that you can tweak a lot of things, especially with the red parts in the image, which look really cool. But I have to be careful with this, because you can oversaturate really fast and like destroy the image really quickly. Yeah, why not? Looks okay. Looks okay. So I think we can stay with this. Maybe with a bit more green again in the image. Okay, so let's just see what it looks like. So that's the image right now. And I think we should again just double check, just rotate the image to see if anything is off. I think we're getting a lot closer now to this image. So okay, what I will do now is, I think we should fix this part here. I think there are some weird things going on. There's a lot of color noise in here. Maybe I should apply some color noise reduction in the camera raw filter. Just go into detail tab, noise reduction color. Yeah, it's already helping a lot. Yeah. Oh man, I really love this area. It's so beautiful. Some noise reduction, maybe a tiny bit. Tiny bit. 10%. Looks better. Yes, it looks better. So what I see here is that this part here, I don't like it that much. I think there should be more contrast, and it has also a bit too much green in it. Put on the greens and adjust the contrast. Yeah, looks better. There's still too much green and too much blue. Yes, that looks better. But I still see that something with the contrast isn't right here. I think that is too bright. Yeah, I think that was just too bright. Yep, that's looking good. And I forgot. We go back to this. I forgot to feather the edge. Really important. And now we can adjust this again. Now there's too much blue in it. Better. But now there's again a tiny bit green. Oh, yeah, but it looks good so far. So again, I think somehow that this part here should contain a lot more contrast again. I can't tell you why, but this area is somehow always not contrasty enough for me. Yeah, better. A lot better. And one thing that I noticed is that this part here is somehow brighter than everything else. And there's still a bit darkness in here. And also some purplish colors. Just pull down the blues again. The greens, I don't know. Ah, that looks good. That looks way better. And now let's just make a lazy curves adjustment. Pull down the brightness. Just make a slight S curve and now just apply it to this part. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. What do you think? I think it starts to look good now. But there are still some magenta colors that I don't like. I have to remove them again. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. All the magenta colors on this area are gone now. That's good. What I notice now is that this part up here is somehow has more green in there to compare to this down here. It's just a back and forth. It's just a back and forth with adjusting things. See what I mean, maybe? Now this looks more natural and more even with this. So maybe let's just double check again, turn it around. Maybe we see something that we don't like again. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a bit too much red in here. I don't think that this should be as red as it is right now. So let's try to remove the red. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Oh my god, yeah, that's a lot better. Yes, that helped a lot, actually. And I think somehow that there's also a bit too much, that there are, I don't know, something is wrong with this part up here. Let's try to make an adjustment layer. Maybe darken it a bit. I think when it is a bit darker, it looks better. Yeah, I don't know why, but when this is darker, I feel like this looks better. Yeah, okay. So the thing is, now we are just into final tweaks. And what I will do next is really go crazy with the red colors. I really love it. But just do a selective color adjustment again, but in the reds now, and then just go crazy with the reds. I know that not everyone loves it and likes it, but I really love it to go crazy with the reds. But just be careful not to do it in the entire image. Just to do it as selective, so I will invert this mask and just carefully paint back the reds that I want in the image. Just around here where there's a lot of red nebulosity. Also here and here. Here and here. And especially here. And then this good old man. No, that's looking better. And one thing that I see now, once again, there's another darkish patch that I don't really like that much. Just brighten it up a tiny bit, just a bit. Yeah, that looks better. And there's one down here on the left where it is somehow dark. Yeah, that's somewhat better. Yeah, next thing that we can do and we will do is to reduce the size of the stars a bit. And I'm just looking for some weird areas. I think this area is still some a bit weird. There's a lot of red noise. Maybe I would just duplicate this layer and just go crazy with the color noise reduction over here. No detail, maximum smoothness, and no noise. Maybe it's not that bad when I apply it on the entire image. Maybe it's not too bad. But you lose a little bit of detail in here. But I actually don't think that's too bad. I think it works. Let's combine them nice and easy. Okay, so let's go to the star reduction. For that, I will just do it quick and easy. We'll do range selection with the highlights, and then we'll just see that I get most of the stars in the image selected. When we zoom in, you can see that all the bright stars are selected, but the edges are quite harsh, so, and really close to the stars, so we'll just I expand the selection by 2 pixels so that I get a little bit of the background around the stars, and I will smooth out the edge of the mask by about let's say 2 pixels. And then for the next, I will duplicate the layer again. I will hide with Control and H. I will just hide this layer so that I don't see anything here. And then I will go to filter, and then to, I don't know what's it called in English, like what is this called in English? I don't know. But when you go to filters, the bottom task, and then minimum, I think is it in English. And I will just reduce them a little bit or make them smaller. And 0.4 pixels works good for this image. I think it's time for a new color. I think we should try a green. Yeah, green is good. Green looks funny. Okay, so now the stars are reduced, and I instantly see a difference. Yeah, there's a difference. But what I always like to do, because when you reduce the stars, they kind of get lost somehow. They are also more dim, and to counteract that is to just sharpen the image again. I use an unsharp mask, and I will just sharpen the image so that the stars, they are smaller now, but they seem to be like out of focus or like a bit blurred. And when I sharpen the stars again, then I get back the characteristics of the stars again, but they're just smaller now. Ah, that looks good. That looks really good. Ah, that looks really good. And then maybe it's a little bit too much. I can just reduce the opacity by my good old 30% maybe. Now there's what I see. There's again a patch. Oh no, that's not good. Where there's too much blue and green in it. I just should push the reds in here maybe. Yes, that looks better. Yes, that looks better. I can just combine these layers again, and now we are really getting into the final touches. Now we could do another camera raw filter. And just, I don't know, maybe just play with some sliders. Clarity, none. Clarity is not that good. Structure, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit structure. 10% clarity maybe. And then get rid of the blacks bit. That's too HDR looking thing. But something like this looks cool. And then when we go down to the color tab, now we can really refine the look that we want. Oh, that's nice to see in these yellow tones. Green. Is there any green? No, there are no greens. Aquamarine? No. Blue tones? Yes. But I think I should leave them. These. Okay, these are weird tones. Magenta again. Okay, magenta should push it a bit more. We have a before and after. Looks already a bit better. Now we go maximum saturation in red and orange. No, just kidding. But maybe in red, maybe. Always zoom in and have an eye on the areas that maybe could burn out. Especially the Trifid Nebula is already maybe dead, maybe overexposed now. Yeah, this that was a bit too much processing on this one. Maybe I should have protected this one. But the Lagoon Nebula is actually quite good protected. And you can see the core clearly. And yeah. This looks good to my eye now. This looks good. Okay, when I adjust this, I have to manually adjust this again. Well, there's some red now, which I don't like. Yeah, so let's apply this. Yeah, that looks better already. Let's turn it around again. Maybe we will find something again or see something. I think now we are really close to, when we have a look at this orientation, now we are really close to this image. Really, really close. What I will do now is something that I haven't done with the... Oh, first of all, I will adjust this one again. But then I will do something that I haven't done with the image before. Okay, the overall, no, in the red tones maybe. Yeah, push them more into the yellow tones again. Yep, that's better. That's better for sure. Oh man, isn't this looking good? Oh man, I just love it. I could look at this all day, especially on this area. It just looks beautiful. Okay, so what I will do now, I will turn it, I flip it again, and now I will open up. Maybe before that I would again. I don't know why, but I think that this up here has some weird discoloration again. Compared to the rest of the image. Just get the mask down and then I will reduce the reds. Yeah, I think there was too much red. Oh, there was too much red up here. Yes, that's better. I'm gonna drink something again. Let's try if this is any good, what I want to do now. So what I will do now is some kind of magic tricks. I will open up the Starless image again. Bad thing now is that the colors are a bit off. So we maybe have to... Maybe I can try something. I don't know if this will work. Corrections... Equal colors. I will try to... Oh, that actually worked really well. What the fuck? Okay, that's good. That worked good. So when I adjust... Okay, I just use the current image as in like as a reference, and with the corrections and then equal color. I think maybe it's equal color in English. You can set a source image and then apply it to this to get an more equal color look. I think that looks really good. That's all what I want, basically. Because what I want to do now is I will add this image as a layer on top. You can see it's basically the same, but it's slightly different colors. But I think that's not too bad. What I will do now is I will put this to negative multiply at a what's it called? What is it called? Tonwertkorrektur in English. You know what I mean when you see this, maybe. A levels adjustment, maybe? I don't know, you see what I do. And now I can push these areas again with the Starless image. But I have to be careful with that. It's really looking cool. Yeah, but you have to be careful with this, because now this image looks way too crazy. I will just combine these now, and then have to set this again to negative multiply, and then I will just add a layer, like just a mask, and then with a brush on a low flow, I can just start painting in what I want to add. Maybe some just to get a bit more, maybe a bit more intense. What's the word? Yeah, more details, just more details and more paint structures, maybe. When you can see that now these parts here are pushed again, just with the Starless image. Maybe we can add a bit more of this here. But I think this is already a bit too much, so let's put this to 50%. Just a subtle improvement. I think this looks really good now. I think we are basically at the end. I think this is basically the end. I think this is pretty much the same as this one. This one is maybe a little bit different in contrast things. There's still some weird green colors in here. So weird sometimes. Yeah, now it is fixed again. Yeah, that's better. And maybe here is a bit too magenta-ish. And maybe you can brighten this up a bit to get a bit more of a connection between these dark areas and these more bright areas. And also get rid of this magenta-ish tone. Yeah, that's better. That's better in my opinion. And maybe, I don't know why. Let's turn it around again. I think that here is now again, it is more green colored. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, I think that's it. Man, I don't know why, but I really prefer this angle. Don't know why. It just... Maybe we could rotate it again in this direction. Yeah, this direction. I really like this one. This is a cool orientation. And maybe, I don't know if I should, but let's try it when we cut off this here, this part. Yeah, that's looking good. That's good. And now we also have to fix this little hole here. I'm just lazy. Let's try and see if content-aware fill will do a good job, because there's basically nothing in here. It's just stars and some brown nebulosity. Let's... No, not that's the wrong thing. Here, this one. Yeah, that looks good. Fine. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't know. I'm cool with that. Looks good. Yeah, that's good. The easy and lazy way. One thing, actually, what I can try, what I see now, actually, again, is that now there's... It's so crazy. You always see something new. I think here there is, again, it is a bit too red. It is too red. And now it looks more natural. Yes, that's good. Is this now... Okay, now this is gone. Maybe, actually, I think we should keep that in, because I don't know if I need it. Let's do this again real quick. Okay, content aware fill again. I think you will do the same job again. Just as good. Yep, that's okay. And now again this part. With the reds. Yep, that's better. Okay. That's where we're at. What we can try is maybe, I haven't done this quite a while, is a high pass filter to maybe add some sharpness to the image. So basically I will just do this high pass filter to a certain level so that I get a bit more of these structures. And then I will just do a what's this in English? Weiches Licht. So smooth lightning is it in English, and it just boosts the contrast and the sharpness in the image. Super crazy. But when we put this to, I think, 50% or so, it looks good. Yeah, it actually looks better now, in my opinion. Especially this part, it looks so cool. This is so cool. Also, this part looks cool. And this part as well. This looks good. And now, once and for all, maybe once again a saturation, gray curves adjustment, but with the greens. I think now up there is actually, oh no, not this way. There's some green missing, I think. And a bit less reds, maybe. Yeah, I think now this part here also fits a bit more into the entire, to the rest of the color scheme. And we could try to reduce the reds again here as well. The reds here, more green. It's so crazy. You in the beginning you remove green to add it back again later. It's so weird. It is really weird. Yes. That looks better. But I will put this to 60% or so. Now with these two adjustments, yeah, that's good. That's looking good. Now let's turn it again to not this angle. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. And we should save it. Yeah, actually I don't know what else I could do now. I mean, when we can zoom in and have a look at it. Maybe maybe one more slight adjustments in camera raw. Bit more whites, but less blacks. Lift the shadows a bit. Reduce the overall exposure a bit, maybe. Yeah, that's good. Maybe we could push the blues a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. And maybe just for style, a little bit of vignette. Small vignette. Yeah, small. Just a bit, just a tiny bit of vignetting to the overall image. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think I should leave it with that. Okay, guys, do you have any questions left? Because I think when I will do more to the image now, I will just overdo it. I will just ruin the image now. I think in this state it's basically perfect. Now I could could resize it maybe or something, maybe, because I really don't know why, but I don't like this orientation. Well, don't like it is the wrong word. I prefer the other orientation, this one, and then maybe in a cropped version like this. Yeah, that would be my way to go. Oh, no. Or maybe I really wish that I had filled this space up. No. But this is sadly not possible. Well, it is possible. Wait, it is possible. Why do I say that it's not possible? But yeah, just to this orientation, it looks also really cool. It's so sad. It really should have had a bit more space in each direction. But yeah, it's always the same. Yeah, this orientation is nice. This orientation is really nice. I think personally that we can sharpen up the image a bit. I think there's a little bit of sharpness missing. At least on my screen. I don't know how it looks on YouTube, but it looks kind of soft. This is maybe a bit too strong. Just to sharpen things a little bit up, to get more crispy details in these stars. There's still this corner down here, which is a bit darker. Better. Now, what's when we push this a bit? Yep, and then we also reduce the reds down here. More green, less reds. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's a lot better. What's happening here? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, I think for final comparison we should rotate this back. What I'm doing. Should rotate this again, save it, and have a look in PixInsight again. So we can close the star mask now. Yes, we can. The Starless V2 is saved. This one, we don't need this one anymore. We don't need this. We don't need pixel math. This. We just need this. We just need this and this. Just to give you an idea what is possible. Isn't this crazy what you can pull out of this raw image? Crazy, right? This is really, really crazy. Okay guys, so I think we are done. We are done. If you don't have any more questions, I think I will stop here. And then, yeah, just wait a bit more if there are any questions. Thank you, Pablo. Gracias. Gracias. Okay, I think there are no more questions. So yeah, I think we'll end the stream now here. I hope that you maybe learned something and I hope that it wasn't too boring, maybe. Maybe it was boring, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, now you know how I turned this image into this, and yeah, I think I'm out for today. I wish you a good night wherever you are. A good night, or maybe you are somewhere else where the day is just starting. For me, it is now 11 p.m. So yeah, I will go into bed now. And yeah, hello Leonard. Hello when I'm just about to turn the stream off. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Have a good night, and I will see you somewhere soon, maybe.